Well, a lot of you would have seen the interview by now. A lot of people are going to watch the interview tonight. It's on the UK TV at 9 o'clock tonight, babe? 9 o'clock, right? So, just a quick recap, right? Because there's more. And I've got to show you something, just to show you how things go down in the UK. There's more. Obviously, the Harry and Meghan thing done out. The royals are kind of done out here. You're done. I mean, there's nothing that we didn't already know. It's nothing that anyone with half a brain didn't already know. So just a quick recap. Number one, there were discussions about how dark Meghan's baby was going to be. Now, I postulated it on the last video that I did. 100% I would have thought it was Prince Philip. But recently, within the last 24 hours, it's come out. He's like said the people that said that weren't Prince Philip and it wasn't the Queen. So there only lives one idiot left, stupid enough to say something like that, Prince Charles. And now the media's showing you all the footage of Prince Charles just airing Meghan Markle. That's not even the big thing. Number one, how dark the baby was going to be, right? Number two, the lie that went around the world about Meghan making Kate Middleton cry. It was a lie. It was Kate Middleton that made Meghan Markle cry, but this is how the media turns things upside down and spins things into lies. But you know this from Mark Duncan to everything else. I've been telling you. Now you're seeing it. It's boiled to perfection. It's been simmered and it's been marinated, and now you're smelling and tasting the juices. Meghan said she was on the verge of suicide, but was refused help. As I said, I remember that. Not that I cared, but I remember seeing her out one time, and I was like, she looks really sad. But we didn't care because I don't care about the royals. But it turns out she was on the verge of suicide. Meghan spoke to one of Diana's friends to kind of so she's reaching out to get over the struggle. This is deep stuff going down. Harry feels let down by Charles. So after the 70 or so MPs wrote a letter pretty much showing solidarity in their objection to the colonial tones used by the media, Charles and the House said nothing about it, which tells you all you need to know. So that's how he feels let down. There was an opportunity to stymie the racist onslaught, and they didn't take the opportunity. The couple's relationship with the Queen is good, but you're going to have to say that. That's how they play them. They played it. This is how you play media, right? I've already seen one or two little try-hard black power idiots going, who's caping for Meghan? And no one's caping for Meghan. No one's caping for Harry. This is how the game gets played in the UK, and they've done it really well. So you don't insult the Queen. As long as you don't insult the Queen, everybody else is in weird space, yeah? You don't insult the Queen, even though the Queen is probably behind it. Hello, everyone with half a brain knows the Queen's behind it. You don't insult the Queen. This is how you played the game. It's like when I was getting abused at that school that I was working in at North London, I was getting racially abused. I know it was coming from the headmaster, but you don't accuse the headmaster, and you don't have a row with the headmaster. You just deal with the minions and just strike down the minions that the headmaster sends out to you, which I was doing over and over until at such a point that, I was getting too many black boys into university. They just had to make some shit up, which is what they do here, make shit up. But they played it really well by not insulting the Queen. Harry was cut off financially, right? I got my reasons why. I'll tell you I know why. The royals ain't cutting off no royals, right? Royals are not cutting off any royals, okay? So Harry's cut off. Basically, he's living on Diana's money, and we know he ain't starving. But, boy, the royals don't cut off royals, all right? So swallow that, digest it, and understand it. The truth behind, well, yeah, okay, I knew about Meghan. See, I'm just scrolling through the top 10 things that the media decided to take. Meghan didn't do any research on the royal family. I would have thought it was the royal family's duty to go to Meghan and say, look, we don't want you doing this, we don't want you doing this, here's how you do this, here's how you do that, this is how you curtsy, blah, blah, blah. I would have thought it was incumbent on them to go, but they're like, oh, she didn't do any research, like she's going to waltz on in there, see the news, even the top 10 thing that I'm reading is even still a little bit skewed. Number 10, they exchanged vows 3 days before the wedding, so this is love. This is what love in the higher echelons of media, where your life is a circus. This is what it looks like. If you genuinely love each other, you're going to go and have your little private ceremony. Then you're going to do the one for the world. The world can have part of us. We don't put the world having part of our love. It's for ourselves, right? You know that shit, right? That's the love part, which is genuine. So, like, they played it really well. They told you that. Now you're like, because you know what sounds. It's not like Prince Andrew going, and I don't recall having. And I went to a Pizza Hut because I don't normally go pizza. Right, and we're supposed to go, yeah, royals, while you're running around having sex with children with Jeffrey Epstein. Come on now. So this is boy, have they fired back considering all of that shit's going on? Oh, wow, have they fired back? Archie's favourite phrase is drive safe, right? But they're humanising their relationship. They're humanising, they're normal. They have a child, they knew the child's first words. You can laugh and you can go, they're rich person, but they just humanise themselves to the American public. And the American public are going to lap that up. They're going to love it. It's brilliant PR play. Right, and they got a girl coming, right? But so you're done out here. You're dusted out here, right? Okay, right, fair enough, right? But so I turn on the TV the next morning, right? So because obviously Piers is gonna protect the royals. You know, Piers Morgan does a bait and switch, and occasionally he'll, if something is indefensible, he'll be on the right. So you can go, Piers Morgan, not that bad. He's playing your ass. In this instance, you know he's going to side with the royals. And I just want you to see how the media in the UK takes the backlash of black people coming back to kick your ass, right? Because there's no defensible points here. It's come out. The baby, they were having a discussion about how dark the baby is. Watch this. Watch how the news deals with it. Now, you need to see this, yeah? Calm down, okay, because I'm going to go to the full screen of it. Calm down, right? You're going to hear the music intro, right? There's nothing wrong with the audio. My audio is working fine, right? I'm going to go over to the other page, then I'm going to press play, right? And I want you to understand this is how the media deals with a losing circumstance.
Your reaction to that interview?
Let me give my reaction to you, Piers, okay? I just, your every rant you just given the last hour, it's honestly, you're such a liar, and it is...
Who? Sorry, who? Dr. Shola Moss Shagbamimu. All right, I've been seeing this Dr. Shola popping up all right. Who is Dr. Shola? Who is... I mean, look, some of you... Who is Dr. Shola, right, over the last couple of years? Who's Dr. Shola? Right, yeah, I saw her on Eddie Nesta, right, but who's Dr. Shola? And because if we're talking about a mixed-race African-American, right? Who's a black American related to us Caribbeans, right? Who's Dr. Shola Moss Shogbamimu? Because, like, at the end of the day, I'm just asking a question. You can jump and get angry if you like, but I'm drawing a parallel between all of these surnames that are not of my culture, speaking on behalf of my culture. So, okay, some of you have taken Dr. Shola Moss Shogbamimu in. Okay, let's see how she goes.
Yeah, you're about to do the same thing. I'm giving you the platform. You talk about the interview. You trash me every time you come on. You trash me every time you come on, which is exactly the thing you accuse.
So immediately after, guys, knowing what we know now, especially having watched one or two Kevin Samuels shows, okay, if you're going to go on for a TV debate, you're going to need to get your point across, okay? She immediately came on high-pitched and combative, right? So we know Piers Morgan's going to be the devil, right? But who are we getting? Remember, because I had one or two other guys on earlier, from my previous videos on Good Morning Britain, who actually did quite well and didn't sell us out. So we know what not selling us out sounds like, and we know what selling us out sounds like. But I'm not saying that Dr. Shola's doing that, but she's immediately started off in a combative, argumentative, high-pitched tone over this subject matter. So, who's that going to work for? Is that going to work for us? Or is that going to work for Piers Morgan? Like, you're being played right now. Let's carry on.
Excuse me of doing.
If
you've got something to say about the interview, say it.
Let me finish. You bring out coverage about Meghan and Harry on their wedding day and the engagement, but conveniently forget to show the coverage before they got engaged, between the engagement and the marriage. So you conveniently forget that.
Right, okay, so these are facts going in, which are concrete facts, but I mean, I think these facts could be delivered in a much more calm, winning, authoritative manner, instead of this hype, like this hype, it's immediately disqualifying the argument, if you ask me. Yeah, the hype that she's coming with and the shouting is if you're in a correct position, you're in a winning position, you don't need to raise your voice. All you need to do is lay out the facts, as far as I'm concerned. Because if it was a member of my people, that's how we would play it. And that's how I would advise someone to play it. Not go on straight away, be combative and shouting. Because now a large member of the population aren't going to be with you. They're not even going to listen to the point of view because you're loud. But some people believe that this is the way to communicate. Some people have grown up all their lives believing that this is how you communicate in a back and forth.
Harry, November 2016, talked about the racist undertones of the media. You conveniently forget all of that to paint this picture that all was rosy and hunky-dory. Nonsense. And then you were lording over the Queen. Listen, by all means, let's applaud the Queen when she does something right. But when she does something wrong, we need to call her out.
What does she do wrong? What does she do wrong?
What kind of grandmother? Let me finish. What kind of grandmother would be so close to her grandson, Harry, but then not use her power and influence as queen to protect them from the racist media coverage?
Right, that's a very pedestrian, easy, doesn't need a scientist point to make. I think 99% of black people are looking at that circumstance. I mean, any intelligent person knows where it's coming from at the very top. But then here's the thing, this is where we get a little bit spooky, right? Because remember, Harry's already said the Queen's advisors, and she's been advised badly. Who advises a Queen? And who does a Queen take advice from? Who has power and influence over a Queen to advise them not to see their own grandson? Okay, that's what you got to think about. She could just be being a horrible grandmother, or she could be being advised. And you'd have to ask, which Harry said that was the case. They were advised. So who advises a Queen? Who does a Queen pay deference to in terms of advice? That's something you need to digest. But let's go back to this back and forth, because once again, we've got the raised voices from Shola. She's already disenfranchising people on the fence, okay? Already made this into a loud, shouty back and forth. I mean, she's embodying a stereotype right now. If you ask me, this is not how you deal with it. Harry and Meghan dealt with it just fine. Calm, collected, empathetic, smooth. Not this loud, high-tone thing that we've got going on here.
I find what you're saying about the Queen actually disgraceful. I find what you're saying... You're entitled to your opinion, Shola. I find... Sorry, no, I'm allowed to respond to what you've just said.
You see this, right? You see this just talking over, right? Talking over, and there's one-way traffic. Now, if you're brought on for an interview, yeah, you can let Piers spew his nonsense forever, but you're going to be offered your opportunity to speak. You don't have to shout over a person to make your point, especially if you're in the right. That's why I believe this is a play here. What you're seeing is a play, right? And what you're seeing is one of the people that have been bestowed the public arena, who I believe the Shola person is, popping up all of a sudden out of the blue. And there are one or two names that I can mention who have been putting in the work since day dot, who don't get shine, who deserve shine. But I'll save that for another video. I'll save that for when the Shola big boom, whatever people supporters come at me like I'm anti her surname. But surnames are important with my videos right now. I think you need to pay attention to the surnames, especially as it pertains to dealing with our people. Of course, we knew Piers was going to defend the Queen. She didn't say anything bad about the Queen, right? But let's see how she deals with this, because remember, even Harry and Meghan were wise enough not to taint the Queen in their interview. They're not stupid. You don't taint the most powerful piece on the board unless you want all hell coming down on you. But Shola has already stumbled into potentially saying something negative about the Queen. She does it twice. Listen.
Rooted. Listen, you might learn something. The royal family as an institution is rooted in colonialism, white supremacy, and racism. The legacy is right there. So you're now surprised that a comment would have been made by several members of the royal family about how dark
It's not several members, actually. No, you can't spew lies. All right.
Harry and Meghan,
are we allowed to engage
in
any of this?
Look at this.
Well, you're not stopping.
That Harry and Meghan had the audacity to speak that truth, then you should be at the actual outrage of racism.
Right, okay.
Right, and she just, fantastic point, well, she's just now invalidated by screaming and shouting it, right? She had all the cards, but you're being played, okay? You're being played. She had all the cards, but they gave it to this overly emotional, unstable, shouty person so that she can invalidate the strength of position. This is chess, this ain't checkers. This is not your piece on the board. Okay, a lot of people are probably going to come at flag. Oh, why are you getting out of jail? Because you're not understanding who the puppet masters are. This is another piece on the board. Oh, that's in your clothing that you think is you. I've seen what's going on here. She is doing the position no favours with the screaming and shouting. Even though I 100% agree with all of her positions. She's right. But she's done this no favours. Now, if this is going to work, first of all, you get the person who's bad at arguing the position. You get the person who's bad at arguing the correct position, right? So that you can look like your position is valid. Then you bring on the coon, right? So this is the first time I played it, the audio didn't work, but I saw another guy waiting in the wings. If this goes according to how the British do it, you get your straw man, who at the moment is Shola, with all the right artillery, but she's screaming and shouting, and they knew she was going to be like this, so she's invalidating her own argument. Then, so Piers already looks fairly kind of presidential. Then you bring on the coon, right? And the coon is going to pull the rug from underneath Shola with her loud shouting and so forth. And the coon is probably going to be a bit more measured and delivered and cool, calm and collected in their delivery.
Am I allowed to respond to this? Am I allowed to respond yet?
You can respond now.
Okay. I think what you just said about the Queen is disgusting. I think it's unbelievable.
See, she walked into that. She walked into that, right? I mean, when Piers was pulling at the heartstrings for the royals, she's 90-something. That's the first heartstring. The husband's in hospital. That's the second heartstring. You back away from that shit. Yeah, if you're playing the game, you don't trounce all over it and say, so what, Shola, if you're playing the motherfucking game and you want to win the game. You don't trounce all over that. Now, every royalist up and down the land, even the people sitting on the fences there, fuck you, Shola. Well played. Yeah, get Shola up there. Put her on TV. She's handpicked and she's up there because she's overly emotional and unstable and she can be worked like this. This is my perception. This is how I believe it's going down. Carry on.
You talk about the behaviour of a 19... Allow me to say what I'm... Allow me to explain.
And the institution is protecting...
Allow me to defend our royal family, thank you.
There you go.
Right,
there you go. See, do you see the position Piers manoeuvred her into? Allow me to defend this royal family, shall we? Do you see how she is so bad at this interaction? She's armed with all the weapons to win, and she doesn't know how to use them. And so she's coming like a bull in a china shop, yeah, throwing this, throwing that, okay? And Piers has easily outmaneuvered her, pulled the heartstrings of the British public, mentioned the Queen, mentioned the husband's in hospital, and she's just trounced all over that, right? And once again, he's outmaneuvered her, and she's just walked right into it. Allow me to defend this royal family. She doesn't know how to argue this, but yeah, run behind Shola. Yeah, you lot run behind Shola, because she's for you.
Shouting, I'll answer you. You gonna stop shouting?
Oh, after you stop shouting.
There you go.
Let me tell you why I think what you said was disgusting.
Well,
the Queen is 94 years old.
There.
Right, her husband is 99. He's lying in hospital for the fourth
wow.
week. Seriously,
do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Right? Please, guys, please learn how to play the game. If you're going to be in the UK, it works in American politics as well, but American politics is a little bit more simpler. But he just tugged the two heartstrings, and she just trampled all over them like an idiot, because she doesn't know how to play this game, right? we know how to play this game. She doesn't know how to play this game. She's been put in a position to come and speak for us, and this is how she's done it. She doesn't know how to play this game. He just said she's 96. She just said, so what? He just said husband's in hospital. She just said, so what? Right? Okay? Yeah, you lot run behind Shola. You idiots. This is not how you do it. I've already did a video just now showing you how to do it. Harry and Meghan did it perfectly. You don't do it like that. Now, who's played into the angry black woman stereotype now? Tell me. Now, all you need to do to mitigate this is bring on a coon and a couple of sensible white kind of scientific type individuals with some facts and statistics. They might be erroneous, they might be false, but that's irrelevant. Okay, this is a smoke and mirrors game here, right? This is a facade game. And right now, he is adopting the facade that he's protecting the royal family. She's walked into a bear trap like an idiot and said, so what, twice. Listen.
You talk about how to... Please let me speak, Shola.
Everybody, come on, let's just stay calm.
Well, let's go back to that because Piers really shouted there. Piers lost it there. Piers lost it. You hear how loud Piers shouted there? She brought that out of Piers, right? And Piers maneuvered her into a position where he said, can I defend the royal family? Then shouted. Okay? Piers is the power player here.
Husband is 99. He's lying in hospital for the 4th week, seriously ill. You talk about how to... Please let me speak, Shola.
Everybody, come on, let's just stay calm.
Okay, whenever you're finished.
Recovery, but the reality is you cannot
Shola, I'd like
deny
to finish my sentence, please.
Any omissions or conduct
I would like to finish my sentence.
What your family has done that has perpetuated racism. Okay. You don't cover it up.
Can I please finish my sentence?
A job. You have to be able to call her out.
Do you see this? Do you see that she's still going on? Now, you see this on the Kevin Samuels show just before he's about to clown someone. Right? And this is who is now representing, this is the woman that's representing your black issues. Well, actually, hold on. It's a whole hodgepodge now, isn't it? So, because remember, the Caribbean doesn't exist anymore. Yeah? You don't exist anymore. I only make my videos for Caribbean people. And Caribbean people, you don't exist anymore. Okay? It's called benign neglect. You don't exist anymore. You will not be seeing surnames that reflects your family background when it comes to discussing situations like this. When it comes to rooting out the racism and pointing out the racism, you're going to find that the people at the spearhead of pointing out the racism are going to do it very badly, and they're not going to be surnames that reflect your family lineage. No, they're not. Let me carry on.
When she's done something wrong.
I'm going to finish my sentence now if you stop shouting at me. Here's the finish of my sentence.
Do you see it now? She's made herself look like the angry black woman. She's made herself look like the angry black woman. Right? She had the slam dunk. She had all the information. I'm cool and I'm calm because I have the information. Okay? The information's there. All the biggest one is the conversation about how dark the baby was. That's all you needed. That's all you needed. You've won. You didn't need to come on screaming and shouting and allowing yourself to be outmaneuvered.
Guys.
You talk about the behaviour of a 94-year-old monarch and you say that she should have done more. What about the behaviour of Harry and Meghan, who are spray gunning his family on global television as Philip lies in hospital? You might laugh. I don't think it's funny. I think it's piling hurt.
See, there you go. Of course, what he just said there was stupid, but that's the racist. That's how racists will see it. Of course, it's illogical, but he's painting a racist white man narrative. And she just laughed, and she walked into that. So he now has all the vitriol to say, you can laugh, right? Because she's really bad at this, right? She's really bad at this.
On the Queen, who is already suffering greatly from her husband's illness.
I'm going to respond to that. What I don't think is funny, I'll tell you what I don't think is funny. It's the fact that you were such a disappointment. I wish to God one day you would even surprise me. You constantly use your platform as a wealthy, white privileged man with power influence.
What a load of nonsense, honestly.
See, once again, stick to the topic. Of course we know what he's doing, but like, we've spent several generations in this country, came over in the 1950s. We know what's going on. We know exactly what he's doing. You don't need to articulate it. Who needs to articulate it? People who just got here, really, so they can get a grasp on what's going on. Maybe people are a bit behind the game, people are a bit behind the times, need to articulate what Piers is doing with his white privileged position as the head of a media mouthpiece. We all know that. That's why we're all here, isn't it? Isn't that why we're all here? Right? Isn't that why Shola's there? Okay, no, but Shola needs to articulate the obvious. Now, when you articulate the obvious, now everyone's going to go, I mean, you even heard me do it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, like, duh, really? Right? But the duh, really, for us, is them going, oh, my God, you're pulling this card, because that's how they respond to it. Shola thinks that she's making waves here.
What a load of race-baiting nonsense.
Yeah, race-baiting.
What a load of race-baiting nonsense.
And you do it so shamelessly.
We have done more on racial issues on this show than any other show on television. You're talking... Shola, you can keep shouting.
That the royal family has any racist undertone or actions against the first biracial, but simply because you're in love with the Queen?
No, I think what you're doing now...
You can love the Queen, but you should be able to call out actions done by the royal family when they've got it wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you trash the Queen. Sorry.
Well, there you go.
I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to let you do it.
Wow, so she didn't actually do that, but Piers has now manoeuvred her into being able to say, I'm not going to allow you to trash the Queen. So now, people here are on the impression Shola's been trashing the Queen. Because she walked into that. Because she's not very good at this. But this is who you want speaking for you, right?
You'll say, let's bring in Johnson Bahari now. I presume you'll let Johnson Bahari talk, will you? He won the Victoria Cross for serving his country. Maybe give him time to speak now. Johnson, welcome to the programme.
Oh, boy.
As you can see, temperatures are running high.
Looking as simple-minded as hell.
You've won the Victoria Cross serving this country. You're a black man. Is this country racist? You know the royal family well. You've met many of them.
You're not gonna say
racist.
You're not gonna say yes.
I could only speak from my experience.
From his experience.
Personally, my time been loads of invitation, visiting the royal family, visit Buckingham Palace.
Oh Lord.
Charity engagement with Prince Harry and other members of the royal family, and the way I have been treated up to date by the general public in Britain, I could never say that.
Of course you can't say that.
So when you hear...
Listen. The British Army, when they're in their right mind, are not racist to people that can save their lives and help them in theatre. Do you understand that? Yeah? The British Army are not racist to talented soldiers. Do you understand that? Okay? So... as a talented soldier of colour, to have the weight of something as powerful as the British military institution behind you, because you are a person of talent, if they award you and laud you, you're not going to turn around and say the country that you're representing is racist. You're just not going to do that. You're going to know that, and you're going to know that coming up, and you're going to remember all the racism you experience coming up. But in your current position with your media exposure and your Victoria Cross, you're not going to do that. Of course you're not going to do that. Enter the coon. Okay? So, he won the Victoria Cross. I mean, at the end of the day, I could have been put in a position where I was in the military and did something that would have earned the Victoria Cross. And if they'd given that to me, then, oh my God, right? You're placed in a very horrible situation because you have a bond with people whose lives are in your hands and whose life is in their hands. And if your life is in their hands, you have a bond with people, and it transcends race. So I think that's a little bit unfair to get someone who's won a Victoria Cross, who's fought and nearly died with people, to make a comment on racism, because when you're in an institution or an outfit like that, you're all brothers, because you have the potential of life or death. All of you have the potential of life or death. So he's psychologically trained or muzzled not to say something racist like that. So that's why they got him on. Yeah, I wouldn't say enter the coon, but he's not cooning, right? He's not cooning, but they've brought him on as quote unquote the coon. but he's not singing and dancing. He's letting you know that basically in his experience, when they say in my experience, okay, that means they know in other people's experience it's happened, but in my experience at the moment I can't say that. But that's in his experience. The code is in my experience. That's why I'm being a little bit forgiving for the brought on coon.
That you hear Meghan Markle in particular characterise the royal family as a racist institution. What is your reaction to that?
My personal reaction is I don't believe it, because I never experienced it. I went to the palace on numerous occasions where the audience is quite diverse. Everyone is happy, and
well, boy, you might go to Victoria Cross, he can't speak for shit, can he?
You know, having a good time. And the royal family, yeah, I mean, for me,
Shola's just gonna laugh
personally, I've never seen it, never experienced it.
Okay, Johnson,
because
and
she,
it's good to hear
like, you know,
your
and the funny thing, even Shola can't go in on him because she knows he too has been maneuvered into this circumstance. This is how it's done. Okay, he's fought and died with British soldiers. He's saved lives. A white guy's probably saved his life. He's probably saved 30 white guys' lives who all is very good friends now. Okay, that's gonna and those white guys are gonna look at him like a brother, right? Because he's he's gonna get an invite to the Buckingham Palace, but they ain't gonna give him they ain't gonna give him a small cottage on the estate to live on, though, are they? Right? He ain't gonna be shit. He ain't gonna be sitting down to dinner with him, though, is he? Do you understand? I can't remember what that movie was. It Blood and Bone? Yeah. Just because I take care of my pets doesn't mean I set a seat at the table for my dogs. Jeez.
But you would also acknowledge that if somebody who had come into the royal family had an experience that she felt either with the press, had tones of racism, or the way that her son or her children were being spoken about had tones of racism, you would want those allegations to be taken seriously, would you not?
Well, that's in any walks of life. Anything like that, it should be dealt with. But I don't think it should be dealt with in the public.
Oh, that's see, there's his tap dance.
It really is.
That's his tap dance.
The most incendiary.
I don't believe it should be done in the public. Yeah, there's the tap dance.
Let's have a listen. Johnson, it feels like we need to know more about that conversation and what happened.
Me again, I don't believe that happened.
How could you?
If it happened,
hold on. See, there you go. That's him cooning. That is him cooning. So you got the people there, Johnny, on the spot. Yeah, Harry and Meghan, who've just made the revelation. A member of. So for him to turn around and say, "I don't believe that. I don't believe that." Who the fuck are you? You're not even a member of the family. Who the fuck are you? But see, now he's pulled out the cane and he's got he's doing a tap dance. So he warmed up, but now he started cooning.
Feel free to talk about it, like, or just bring up the topic. Why then they don't explain it? Well, who said it? Where did it happen? I don't believe it.
Because it's too devastating. It's too devastating. I personally, now, after Harry came out with that thing and said it wasn't the Queen and Prince Philip, I would have put my money on it being Philip. But then post that, it's got to be Charles. It's got to be Charles. I would have, because after Diana, I wouldn't have thought Charles would have the cheek. But yeah, he does. He's got the cheek and then some, right? So they just double down. They just put the chin out, bottom chin out, stick the neck out, right? You know, chin into the future. That's how they do it, isn't it? Right? Oh, look, you're guilty of this. Chin into the future. No, I'm not.
And what was the context? We don't have the context. There are many families in this country who are biracial, where one parent's white, one parent's black. You don't think that those families have honest, sincere discussions about, you know, what colour the baby
Oh, look, yeah, come Piers. Right, Piers is saying, you don't think there are members of the interracial couples in this country? You don't think they, I mean, I mean, no, wait, hold on now. Okay, my daughter's mixed race, right? So hold on. So wait. I remember Gran going, look pan the knuckle, look pan the ear, see how that nigga out belly. Right? Okay. Yeah, but because that was white and black, not like Meghan Markle mixed race. Their child is gonna be white. Come on. You know mixed race and white is white. Maybe with a little sheen of little sheen. Do you know what I mean? A little sheen of colour. Do you understand what I'm saying? Little like a little health looking in the skin. That's what the Caucasians look like, innit? They're mostly white, but they look a little just like ping, like, you know, they look a little bit healthier than the average white person. Come on now, because they got that black in them. Don't laugh, it's the truth though. But like, no, you're only having a conversation about how dark the baby's gonna be when it's black and white. Not when she's mixed race like that and it's going to be white, then you know it's going to be a white baby. Come on, you only having that conversation because you're being a racist prick. Do you understand? It's only because you're being a racist prick.
Colour the babies may be, of course those conversations happen. Sincere discussions about what colour the babies may be, of course those conversations happen. The context is so important here.
The context is so important here. Well, I think the context that Harry and Meghan laid it down was in a kind of context of disgust and shock. Do you know what I mean? It was in a, because, but boy, there's the play. I just outlined what I thought the play was there. Like, that was a slam dunk win that got turned into a Piers Morgan defense manifesto, like public information service broadcast. Not how you do it, man. I mean, do you see what I see? Are you seeing what I see?
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.